For the Bodyscan meditation, we remember an attitude of warmth and kindness, remembering that there's no perfect way to meditate. It's our experience with the moment and accepting what we find. This will be about a half-hour meditation. Coming into the moment through the physical sensations of lying down, noticing our points of contact, the places of pressure, perhaps the back of the legs, the heels, the hips pressing on the mat, the shoulder blades, the back of the head. Noticing how it feels to be supported from underneath. Taking a moment to come home into the body and into the moment. And then noticing a few breaths, letting ourselves breathe naturally and adopting the position of the witness, the one who's observing the gentle rise and fall, the expanding and letting go. And once we've connected with the breath, no matter how the mind wanders, we simply observe as best we can. We take our attention down into the toes of the left foot, the big toe, the little toe, the toes in between. And we're interested in picking up the physical sensations present. Perhaps a feeling of the toes touching each other, perhaps some contact with a sock, and then exploring the sole of the foot. The ball of the foot, the arch, and perhaps the heel where it's resting. Aware of any sensations of touch, temperature, any tingling or creeping feelings on the skin, including the top of the foot and the ankle. being with the foot through the physical sensations present, rather than thinking about it. And then if we can, we imagine on the next natural in-breath that the air passes down from our lungs through our body, down the left leg and into the left foot, bathing the parts that we have scanned. And on the next out breath, we imagine the air coming back up and being breathed out in the normal way. We now let go of the left foot and invite our attention to the left lower leg, aware of the calf against the mat or our clothes, aware of the shin, exploring this part of the body from the ankle to the knee and including the knee, the kneecap at the front, the fossa at the back, perhaps aware of the joint inside. And most of all, being with the left lower leg, feeling whatever can be felt. And accepting what's there. On the next in-breath, we imagine the air passing down into the left lower leg. On the out breath, it flows back up out of the body. We let go and we take our attention to the left thigh. Aware of any places of contact, pressure, warmth, the sensation of clothes, exploring the inside, the outside, aware perhaps of the bone joining the knee to the hip. Picking up whatever can be felt, including any zones that are numb or no sensation at all. Observing, connecting with this part of the body and being kind and gentle each time the mind wanders. We notice and we invite it back to the body and it's still now. Taking another moment with the thigh as we breathe in. We fill our left leg in an imaginary way with the in-breath all the way down to the toes. Emptying on the out-breath, letting go, and taking our attention to the toes of the right foot. paying close attention. Picking up the physical feelings, experiencing what's there, even if there's no name for that particular sensation of warmth or touch or tingling, or just a something that's there. Maybe there's nothing, and that's fine too. Scanning our attention through the right foot, the sole of the foot, the top of the foot, and the ankle. We may notice that place of pressure where the heel is resting on the mat. And we allow ourselves to be with these physical sensations. Nothing to do but adopt a state of being, a receptive state of being. On the next in-breath, we imagine the air passing down into the right foot, emptying on the out-breath, and sliding our attention into the right lower leg. The calf, the shin, perhaps slight pressure on the mat, the touch of clothes in front. Just seeing what's there, entering into the world of our senses. And including the knee. In front, behind, noticing and kindly bringing our mind back when it wanders off. Breathing into the right lower leg in an imaginary way. And as we exhale, imagine emptying, letting go, and placing our attention in the right thigh. Connecting with any sense of heaviness, touch, pressure, temperature. Experiencing the right thigh through the senses rather than looking at it or thinking about it. Really inhabiting each part. And then on the next in-breath, letting the air flow down the right leg, down to the foot. Emptying on the exhale. And taking attention now to the hips. We've let go of both legs and now we're aware of the pressure of the backside on the mat. Perhaps the feelings change as we observe them. Warmer areas, cooler areas. Paying attention to the whole pelvic area. And connecting with the subtle sensations present. Perhaps aware of a slight movement generated by the belly as we breathe. Being with this part of the body. Breathing into it in an imaginary way. Releasing as we breathe out. And then our attention lingers in the lower back, the waist, and the belly. Connecting with the movement, however slight. Maybe our skin is moving against our clothes. Moving our attention upwards to include more parts of the torso. Up the back, around the ribs at the side, up through the chest, moving right up to the collarbones. And noticing the physical sensations in the torso. Perhaps the pressure of shoulder blades on the mat. The ribs moving. We might be aware of the movement all the way round to the spine where they connect. And no matter how many times the mind wanders off, we come back. Kindly and without judgment. Taking a moment to really feel the whole of the torso. To be present in this part of the body. By noticing the physical feelings. There may be little places of holding or tension. We just observe. And then on the next in-breath, we imagine filling the whole of the torso. On the exhale, we let go and we take our attention to both hands. Aware first of all of the fingers and thumbs. The tips of the fingers. Noticing any tingling. Contact with the mat or your clothes or the air. Taking a moment to notice and then including the palms. The backs of the hands. And the wrists. Being present in both hands. And if the mind goes off, we simply notice where it has gone. We might say to ourselves, there's planning, there's imagining, there's worrying. And in that way we accept the thought, we let it go, and we come back to the body, back to the now, back to the hands, which we now fill in an imaginary way with our in-breath. The air flows back up out of the hands on the out-breath. Releasing the hands and taking our attention to the forearms. Perhaps aware of the feelings where they're resting. Contact with our clothes or with the air. Aware of the elbows. The upper arms. Perhaps in contact with the mat. And continuing up into the shoulders. exploring any areas of tension. Simply observing curiously. What's there in the arms and the shoulders? What do we notice as we observe mindfully? And with gentleness, we breathe into both arms all the way down to the fingers. Breathing out, we let go of the arms and we invite our attention to the neck and throat. Perhaps feeling air passing in the throat. Perhaps our neck supported or not by the cushion. And then sliding our attention up through the back of the head, through the place where it's pressing on the cushion, supported from underneath. Through the scalp, through the roots of the hair, moving upwards around the sides of the head as well, around the ears themselves, up over the crown of the head. And we might like to linger here, noticing what's there on the very summit of the head. Maybe a tingling or creeping feeling in the scalp. Maybe nothing. And continuing to observe top of the head and then forwards and down through the forehead, around the eyes, the eyes themselves, noticing any spots of tightness, just kindly observing. Giving ourselves warm attention, noticing the detail of our face, the cheeks, the nose, the chin and jaw. The lips on the outside of the mouth, the tongue inside. And being with the whole of the head, perhaps observing, experiencing from the inside. Picking up all the subtle sensations in the head and face as we observe mindfully. Having the patience to notice the detail. On the next in-breath, we imagine filling the head and face with our breath, releasing it as we exhale. And the next time we breathe in, as best we can, we imagine the air passing into all parts of the body, all the parts that we have scanned. And on an out breath, we imagine emptying the body. And we might like to do this one more time. Filling and emptying. And once we've let go and we've breathed out, we can take a moment of simply being with ourselves in mindful awareness, accepting ourselves and things exactly the way they are. And opening our eyes when we're ready. Maybe having a little stretch, a little yawn.